transforming, the good and the negative from one week to make yourself better the following week?
Yeah, for me, it's you're real with yourself. You understand where you're at as a quarterback, how you played, and it doesn't matter if you play good or bad. Like you can't, I don't think, take really any of that with you the next week. It's a new game, it's a new scheme, it's a new environment. Everything about it is new. So it's almost like you got to clean the slate, learn from the mistakes, build off of the good things that you've done. But it's going to be it's a new game. So that's the mental battle that I feel like all the NFL quarterbacks go through, and I think that's where the great ones really separate themselves from the others. So yeah, that's how I look at it.
Brock, when you watch the Green Bay film and you were critiquing yourself, what didn't you like about the way you played in the first part of the game?
Yeah, I feel like there was this early on there were some decisions that I made that sort of made me feel a little tentative, after. Obviously that one that could have been intercepted. And it's like, go through your reads and take the checkdowns when the defense presents itself the way it does, and build off that rather than trying to search for the play and look for the big play, and then when it's not there, not having confidence in our checkdowns and stuff. So that's something that I have to be better at. That's what I needed to do at the end of the game. I feel like we got to that point, and I started doing that better, and we were able to move the ball. So that's something that I learned for sure.
Kyle mentioned the aggressiveness of their defense, but their corners in particular, it's been a double-edged sword because they get great takeaways, but they also give up big plays. Do you see that whole the line of danger but big play chances against them?
Yeah. I think every week it's sort of been a little different just depending on who they're playing. They do a lot of switching up just with their coverages and how they play guys and certain receivers that they're covering. So it's always a little different with them. And so there could be some big plays, and then there's also plays where they're going to play tight. And, as a quarterback, it's like you got to know that they're going to be aggressive and they can make a play. So it's definitely a fine line. And once we get into the game, hopefully we can get a feel for it and understand what kind of game it's going to be with them.
Given how last year, when you got to this stage, things ended for you personally especially, what does it mean to you to be back on this stage and have another opportunity just a year later to be in this game?
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously where we wanted to get to as a team, and that's first and foremost. And obviously, I'm excited that we're here. And so now it's last year. That was its own game. It hasn't been anything that has bled into this year or this game. And this is the 49ers against the Lions now. So it's a new year, new approach. I feel like just in terms of playing their defense and their scheme, not thinking about last year or anything. So, for me, obviously I got hurt last year and it sucked. That was part of the game. Going into this game, I'm healthy, feel good. And, I think for all of us, we're obviously hungry and want to get to the next game after. So we got to handle business and take it one play at a time and allow everything to happen for a reason. So
is not trusting the checkdowns because you're getting to them late because you're searching for the big play? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, in that game.
When you look at last year, I mean, it seemed like it happened so quickly. What's the difference in kind of the slow build of this year? Knowing you're the starting quarterback from day one, knowing that the goal is to get to the NFC Championship game. Is there any difference in the mindset for you?
I mean, I've obviously played more games this year and stuff compared to last year, and so to help this team from the beginning and all the way to the end to get to where we are now, for me it's a little different, and obviously that's been our goal. And now to say that, okay, I actually helped our team, that's cool. Where last year, I got thrusted in and we had a good team, we were rolling. And not to take away anything that happened last year, but it sort of does feel a little different because you went through so many highs and lows this year. And now to get to where we are, it's like, okay, it feels pretty good. So, but at the same time, this has been this organization's and team's mindset long before I even got here, and what they've been building here in terms of, doing what it takes to get to a championship. And so I'm just another key part of that, and I'm just doing my job as best as I can week in and week out, and here we are.
How do you feel about just the supporting cast around you in terms of, I guess, maybe a more depth in terms of being able to have contingency plans if one guy goes down, maybe more than you did last year, how deep you guys are.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's huge. Obviously we get guys that get banged up and may not play as much and whatnot from game to game, but we have some studs all across the board, and we got guys that can step up. Juwan Jennings, Ray McLeod, you got guys that can come in and do the job really well. So that's something that's cool about our team and what this organization has done. Obviously they get guys that are willing to step in and continue to keep this thing going, and we've shown that, I feel like, throughout the years. And so obviously the teams have to scheme to stop certain guys, and I think at the end of the day they end up having to just play their way of football rather than focusing so much on one certain guy, because we have 5, 6, 7 guys that they have to worry about. So that's the cool part, and it's the team that we got. So
what do you think is the key just to win on Sunday?
I feel like just for us on offense, we got to obviously put up points. They have a good offense. We respect their defense a lot and what they do. They've had a lot of success this year, and obviously the last couple of games they've been playing really well. So for us, it's don't turn the ball over, put up some points like we have this year. Let our defense do their thing, and try to win the momentum throughout the game. I feel like this game's going to come down to momentum, and whoever has that, I think, has a good chance of winning the whole thing.
What happened on the Ray missed
game, and this year at home with the faithful on your back? Do you feel like that creates a big difference in the atmosphere going into this NFC Championship?
Yeah, I think just the game that this is going to be. It's an NFC Championship, two really good teams, and then obviously just the Bay Area and the faithful in general. We want this game bad, and they've obviously been hoping, to have another championship come in this organization. Last couple times we've been in the Super Bowl, we've fallen short. So now we get a shot at it again. So to play at home in the NFC Championship, it's gonna be sweet.
the Ray missed assignment.
Have Debo out there.
One more time.
How important is it for you and what you guys do as an offense to hopefully have Debo out there?
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, I think he's probably the best playmaker in this league. You get the ball in his hands, he can do whatever he wants. Makes guys miss, breaks tackles. He's strong, he's tough, he's got grit, and we all feed off it. So Debo definitely gives us some juice and energy and momentum on our offense. And if he's not playing, obviously that's tough on us, but we'll have guys to be able to play as well that can create that as well. So, but yeah, if you're asking me, we'd love for Debo to play.
On the Ray, looked like a missed assignment. It looked like you said, what are you doing? It looked like you guys had some harsh words, and then you guys were on the sideline talking about it. What happened exactly on that play, and what was the breakdown there?
Yeah, I'm just going through my progressions, and from where I'm at with the pocket closing and stuff, I'm expecting him to be where he's supposed to be with the route that we had called on. The corner actually slipped that was guarding him, so he was trying to be smart and throw up his hand and run the space, which I get. And so in the moment, I was like, man, you just got to be where you got to be, where I'm expecting you to be. But I totally understand what you're doing. If a guy falls, there's a big play to be made out there. So we had talked about it, and then we ended up on good terms, and moving forward, we know what to expect out of each other and stuff. And when we're in that moment again. So it's just communication. We're competitors in the heat of battle. Things like that happen, and we needed that, in that moment in the game. So that third down. So I had a little frustration come out and stuff, but it's nothing but love. I totally trust and respect Ray and what he's done, and we're going to get better from it.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.